I speak 9 languages. That's what my daughter said, chin-up voice clear while standing in front of a man who once called her a little colored girl. He laughed, loud, harsh, the kind of laugh that ricochets off glass and marble, not because something's funny, but because someone thinks they've already won. That man's name was Victor Langston, CEO of Langston Systems, rich, smug, and convinced that wealth meant wisdom. I'd cleaned his offices for 8 years, polished the marble, scrubbed his conference table, knew the number of steps between the elevator and his ego. But that day, everything changed. I was scheduled to clean the 53rd floor with my daughter Layla. She was 12, sharp as a tack, quiet, observant, brought her backpack everywhere like it carried the universe. That day she asked if she could come help, said she wanted to see where I worked. We pushed our supply cart through glass doors taller than our apartment building, and Victor was already circling the room like a vulture with stock options. He looked at me and said, 8 years right, just high school. I nodded. I'd heard worse. But then he looked at Layla and grinned, and this one dreaming of college cute. But places like this don't open doors for girls like her. He didn't say black, but he didn't need to. His voice wrapped around the word without touching it. That's how some people hide hate in velvet. Then, for reasons only rich men understand, he pulled out a bundle of yellowed papers. Let's have some fun, he said. This manuscript stumped 5 translators. It's a mix of ancient Chinese, Arabic, Sanskrit, and whatever dead language you can name. Want to try, kid? Layla glanced at the paper, then at him, then said it quiet but firm. I speak 9 languages. I can try. And that's when he laughed. Not the laugh of someone amused, but of someone so sure of another person's failure that they're already savoring the fall. Victor sneered. 9 right. Name them. Layla raised her hand and ticked them off like grocery items: Spanish native, English fluent, Mandarin basic, Arabic conversational, French, Portuguese, Italian, German, Russian. Each word came out crisp like she'd been rehearsing this moment for years, but she hadn't. She just knew. She loved learning. She used the public library like most kids use TikTok. And she learned from people who used to be professors back in their home countries before they became janitors, drivers, maids. Victor scoffed. YouTube doesn't count as school. Layla replied. Neither does a yacht. He froze, just a flicker. Enough for silence to creep in. Then she asked, Can you read this manuscript? He bristled. I'm not a translator. She smiled slightly. Then maybe don't mock people for trying. And with that, she picked up the manuscript and read. She started with classical Chinese, her tone sharp, elegant, then Arabic smooth, rolling. Sanskrit followed each syllable like a bell. Hebrew, Persian, Latin. Every word echoed through that cold, arrogant room, making it warmer somehow. Victor didn't laugh anymore. His jaw just hung there. My hands trembled. 8 years I'd worked there, never once feeling seen. And now my daughter, born in a 1-bedroom apartment with a flickering ceiling light, was standing in front of this millionaire translating languages most universities struggle to teach. When she finished, she looked at Victor and asked, Would you like the meaning? He just nodded, not as a CEO. As a man caught in a truth too heavy to dodge. Layla said, The manuscript talks about wisdom and wealth. That real wealth isn't about owning things, it's about seeing the dignity in others. That true power lifts, not belittles. Victor muttered something that surprised even him. I'm sorry. But Layla didn't just let him off the hook. She said words aren't enough. If you're serious, I'll give you 3 conditions. She laid them out. 1, apologize to my mom, not just today, for all 8 years. Say her name. Look her in the eye. to fund 150 scholarships for kids like me, ones with brains but no means, and support the free language programs at the library. 3. Come to the library every Tuesday. Sit at a regular table, no VIP room. Learn Mandarin from me. Victor's pride twitched, but he agreed. And the next Tuesday, he showed up. Grid notebook, pencil, nervous hands. Layla taught him tones. Ma, 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 ma. He butchered them. But she didn't laugh. She corrected, gently. The library became a second home. Carmen's cleaning job turned into a director role at Langston Systems. Scholarships rolled out. Employees were offered learning paths. The company culture shifted from stiff suits to listening circles. Real change. But not everyone liked it. An employee defaced a scholarship poster with a Sharpie wrote, "Stay in your lane," next to Layla's name. Security panicked. People whispered. Layla didn't cry. She walked straight up, took a photo and said, "We erase it, but not in silence." Victor backed her up. Found the culprit. Suspension, public apology, listening sessions. Layla made them frame the cleaned-up poster stain, and all with the caption, "Defaced, repaired, stain kept to remember." Because forgetting doesn't heal, remembering does. Then came the academic skeptics. They questioned her credentials. Is she a prodigy or just a PR trick Layla refused to perform? Instead, she hosted a private academic colloquium. 3 professors, no cameras, no edits. She didn't perform. She co-read. When asked why a child was doing this, she answered, "I'm not asking for anyone's job. I'm just asking to be part of the learning." That's when the world started to really listen. A year later, the Lucia Johnson Foundation was born. $500 million. No corporate logo, just student names. The company's walls that once had overpriced paintings replaced by photos of students, mentors, librarians. At the center of it all, a wooden table, Table 12, where a once arrogant CEO learned humility from a 13-year-old girl with a backpack. Funny how wealth changes meaning once you've learned to pronounce dignity. And you know what sticks with me. It's not the money, not the headlines. It's that my name, Carmen Johnson, was finally spoken with respect. By a man who once saw me as invisible. By coworkers who now pause to say it right. Because saying someone's name, really saying it, isn't just polite, it's power. So, tell me. Have you ever been in a room where no one said your name right, where your worth was measured by your uniform, your accent, your skin, and more importantly, would you have stood up the way Layla did? Would you have dared to speak 9 languages in a world that still pretends not to hear? Let me know below. I'll be reading.